Hey guys, welcome back to We Watched a Movie. Mike here with my top 10 kills of the entire Scream movie franchise, including 2020-22, not including that shitty TV show. You change the fucking mask, you don't make the list. Those are the rules. There are Scream 5 spoilers in this, just so you know, in case you haven't seen the movie. I'm going to go Scream 4. I know that sounds weird because I'm not the biggest Scream 4 guy, but it had a couple good kills in it. Scream 4, Olivia's death in the bedroom specifically. Now, this is one of the best kills in the movie and in the series, simply by the way it's set up and then how mean Ghostface is when it happens. It was a really clever gag, and at this point, this late in the franchise, it's hard to surprise people anymore. But when Kirby goes to check the closet and he's like, I never said I was in your closet. And then she looks over and Ghostface jumps out at Olivia out of her closet. Now, it's a great jump scare, but it's topped off with just how mean Ghostface was. A lot of people talk about the opening scene to Scream 5 when he stabs Shinna Ortega in the hand, how that's just a little mean, a little fucked up, a little brutal, the kind of way you like Ghostface to be from time to time. But he stabs her in the hand here too, and then he kicks her off of the knife into the banister, picks her up, and just fucking Undertaker chokeslams her onto the bed. He's just mean about it. And I know it sounds fucked up that I'm praising how mean a murder scene is, but yeah, I don't have any excuse for that. No, it is fucked up. And the death scene goes on for forever, too. I mean, he fucked up the entire organization of her goddamn bedroom. She was thrown all around that fucking thing like a rag doll. It was a crazy death scene, and then they top it off with the after-death sequence. You see more gore in this scene than you see in most of the entire franchise when she's laying on the bed, and it's just like, hey, by the way, fucking surprise, here's some goddamn organs, and her entire fallopian tubes, what do you call it? Intestines were just like hanging out on the bed. I don't know what a fallopian tube looks like inside of someone, and I hope never to know. But yeah, that was just a great kill, man. It could be higher on the list, honestly. But yeah, Olivia's death in Scream 4 is number 10. Number 9. Number 9. Now, this doesn't seem like a crazy death, but I mean, look, if you've got a penis, it does. Number 9 is also surprisingly going to be from Scream 4. It's Trevor. Trevor's death. He's the guy, he's got a Billy Loomis look to him. Like, he was cast to, I think, be that red herring, because he just has that face, he has that look to him, whatever. But yeah, he's a piece of shit. He cheats on her, whatever, as her boyfriend. But lo and behold, she turns out to be Ghostface. Jill does. So he was right to cheat on her. But is it right to cheat on someone if they're a mass murderer? Probably. I'm not getting into all that. What I'm telling you is that I don't ever want to be shot in the dick. He gets shot. He's laying there tied up. He's wearing the jean jacket, which also throws me back to Sydney's dad in the original, because he had the jean jacket on when he was tied up with the stuff. But yeah, man, like, I mean, anytime someone gets shot in the dick in a movie, it's never a good feeling. But usually it's from far away. Usually it doesn't seem this personal, but he's wearing khakis, so you can see the dick after it's shot, like, hop up in the pants a little bit, like, just get jumbled when the dick gets shot. It just goes like that. You just watch close, and like, you could just imagine if your dick got shot, and it probably like the dick and the balls. You don't get any worse than that. And it just, to me, it's one of the most, if not the most painful looking dick shots I've ever seen. And I'm not talking about like, what's the capital of Thailand? Bangkok. Or I'm not talking about like, obviously porn. I'm talking about people getting shot with a gun in the wiener. The Peacemaker one, that was hilarious. They just did it in Peacemaker. But yeah, my point is that getting shot in the dick is not something you want to see happen to someone, especially if they're wearing khakis, because it just adds a whole nother feeling of, ah! And then he had to sit there and scream about it, and he had to beg for his life. That's maybe the biggest plot hole of Scream 4. If you shoot a man in the dick, he's going to beg you to finish the job. No one's going to beg for their life after they've been shot in the dick. But yeah, and then he takes it into the head, So yeah, she's not the girl you cheat on, dude. She said it herself. I don't know if that was necessary. Number 8, Amber's death in Scream 5. Now, this gets a little bit of extra credence just because of how meaningful it was. It's not about the violence or the dick shots. It's about how meaningful the death was, plus how cool it was. And you put them together and you have your number 8. Amber's death. Amber reveals that she's the killer. She reveals that she killed Dewey, although I think that was Stu. That's a different video. We'll talk about that another time. Amber reveals that she killed Dewey, and Gail shoots her, and then she turns around and she catches on fire and becomes just in flames, right? And then that's cool enough because Gail got her comeuppance. She's like, you know, you killed my best friend, you son of a bitch, you know, or whatever the exact line was there. And then, and then Sydney with the enjoy that torch. Like you had a great one-liner, you had an important death, you had a meaningful death in that Gail was getting her retribution. We were all getting our retribution for what happened to Dewey. And not only was she fucking shot, but she was also embattled with flames, as one would say, in the kitchen, which is funny because that was the trailer shot. Like, what a big shot to give away. But you're not done yet. Then you have an ode to, and they said it was on accident, but an ode to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, when the same character died the same way. She was the one that got hippie crisped. You know, it was an important death, and I think it was a satisfying death for a character that you really fucking hated at that point. And I do want to make just a little note here that this slot was almost given to, ironically, Richie's death. Because the way that fucking Sam just took his ass out. I mean, you got Billy Loomis in that scene when he's like popping up in the mirror or whatever, but the way that someone said she cowgirled the fuck out of him. But just the way that she jumps on top of Richie and just lets the fucking serial killer fly, that was a really cool death scene. I mean, she was putting her fucking back into it. That goddamn arm was arching back. Do you play volleyball? She was fucking getting back with it and then going deep. That was a really, really good death scene. So you can interchange those two. I like both of those deaths. For the third time already in this list, we are into Scream 4 territory. This one goes to Officer Perkins getting stabbed in the fucking head. First, they kill off Adrian Brody. I always fucking confuse their names. Adam Brody. Officer Perkins turns around in the car. Ghostface puts it immediately right into his fucking forehead, dude. Which I imagine would be hard to do. I don't know. Those Scream knives are pretty sharp. Trust me. But like, yeah, just right in the fucking head. And they let you sit there with it for a second. Like, he bleeds all over his own face, and you're like, fuck. And then all of a sudden he gets out of the car, he stumbles around, and he goes, fuck Bruce Willis, and falls over. Which, honestly, it's a little dumb, you might say. Like, okay, he got stabbed in the head. He's not going to walk around and breathe and make jokes. But I've seen that happen in movies too. I think like some weird synapses start firing off. I saw one movie where a guy got stabbed in the head and he was like, I smell muffins, right before he died. Like, I think that's a thing. I think that's why they put it in there. Either way, it's believable enough for me. I thought it was a pretty gnarly ass kill for the franchise. Number 6, Omar Epps' death in Scream 2. Now, I hate this. You know, I hate fuck that. I hate this one because Omar Epps' death it was a great scene. It was a classic scene. The lead up to it was fucking amazing. He goes in the bathroom. The two Ghostface turn around and look at him. You know, he hears the from the next stall. And fun story, I almost got raped in a men's bathroom once because I was in Florida. We were traveling to the beach, stopped at Gainesville at the mall just to stretch our legs, walk around. But it was early. None of the stores were open. I go into the stall and I hear, "Oh, so my little mijo." The guy kept saying little mijo. And like, I found out that meant little one, but there was no kids in there with him. So it was just him. And he was like whispering to the other side of the door. And then he got out of his stall, started like banging on like grabbing my door handle. I was like, whoa, dude, nope, not happening. I was like Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber, just sucking my thumb in the corner, like, go to your happy place. But thank God, some fucking, some janitor you could hear keys like jangling down the hallway, and he just booked it the fuck out of there. And I was like, oh, thank you, God, my butthole's safe. But anyway, long story short, he's listening to that. It was kind of the same scenario. I was like, and then he's like laughing. He's listening. He's thinking people are banging in there. And then Ghostface stabs him right through the fucking ear, through the wall. That was amazing. At first I had qualms. Like, there's no way you could stick a knife through one of those walls like that. But I've been told that I'm incorrect about that you can, in fact, stab through those. I don't know how the fuck people found that out, but they did. But my biggest qualm with this, as cool of a scene as it was, and it was a great, just inventive, cool-ass kill, which is why it's so high on this list. But how the fuck did he know where his ear was gonna be on that wall? Like, there's like a 99% chance that you fucking miss. He's just swinging out a wall, and he somehow caught the exact spot. Come on, Scream 2, you fuck. Wes Hicks' death in Scream 5. We have our second from the movie Scream 5, and this was probably the best effect kill of the entire movie. Right after his mom gets killed, Dylan Minnette's character walks downstairs smelling nice and axe fresh. Ghostface just I didn't like the lead up a little bit. I thought they were playing too much with the jump scare thing. I'm not sure it really played perfectly, but they made up for it because when Ghostface sees him and he goes to stick it in, he's fighting him off. And that was a pretty cool moment there too, because you're like, oh shit, he's gonna get out of there. He's gonna make it, because he was like, fuck you. And he's about to get this empowered moment. And as one of you guys said, like his taser was like right there next to him. You know, his mom's dead just laying out there on the other side of the door. But Ghostface wins the battle, shoves it in there, and you just see it slowly go in, and then slowly go through, and then slowly out the other fucking side, and it's disgusting, and it's fucking cool. But, you know, just like, I call it a dick dangler, because if you just like flick that knife, it'd be like, you know, just the big old fucking dick hanging out of your neck. And what a cool special effects sequence that was, by the way, inspired by the Rambo 3 scene where he pulls that big ass fucking stick out of his side and then lights it on fire with gunpowder to close the wound, special effects guy said. But yeah, for all these fucking reasons, amazing non-CGI practical effectos. I don't know why I just did that. Jada Pinkett Smith. Oh my god. Not only was she just a fucking asshole when they were standing in line, just the way that she was talking to him, talking about people, everything about her. I'm not just mad at her because of the whole Will Smith thing. That's bad enough. That's just real life, okay? You're a piece of shit for that one in fucking real life. But just as a character in this moment, like to be in that theater where everybody's having such a good time and they're all yelling and there's Ghostface flying around, like you're not watching the movie anyway. But she was so fucking annoying watching that while the movie was playing that those audience members were shushing her. You know what I mean? And who the fuck orders a popcorn with no butter? The fuck is the matter with you? You're sick. Anyways, my point is I hate Jada Pinkett Smith, and her death is number 4 at this. Well, I hate Jada Pinkett Smith in this movie. I don't hate anyone in real life. And she gets it in an amazing way. It was really clever. It was inventive. It was fucked up because she's walking through there and she's just being murdered in front of all these people wearing the mask of the guy fucking murdering her. And they're cheering and laughing because they don't fucking know. That's so mean and twisted and fucked up. And then he just follows her around, stabbing her. People slowly start to realize it. And then she dies in front of the screen, in front of everybody. And lets out a really good scream right there. Boom, scream title drop. Fucking second best opening of the franchise. Amazing scene, awesome death scene. One of the best death scenes in horror. Just talking about it makes me want to put it higher. I'm kind of regretting not putting it higher. Number 3, I hate this fucking death. I hate it, 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 I fucking hate it. Fire it into the fucking sun, kill it like a spider, Dewey's death scene. The reason it's so high on this list is because it's the most important death of the entire franchise, okay? It is the biggest character to die in the franchise, next to, you could argue, Randy. But the reason Randy didn't make this list and Dewey's did is because Randy's death was off screen. I don't love the way it was handled. Dewey's death, however, it was, you know, God, it was painful because you thought he was going to win the fight and he was getting away and then he forgot the rules and you just knew it was good. It was downhill after that. But, and again, I'm operating under the assumption that that wasn't Amber that did that to him because that does take this scene down a little bit. For me, in my head, I'm still believing that may have been Stu. Again, that's a whole nother video. Watch the spoiler stream if you want to know what I'm talking about there. I'm also going to make another video on that later. But, can you deal with that? Aside from who's doing it, the fact that Dewey died in that scene, and he died protecting someone when he couldn't save his sister before. He died saving someone else's sister. And he did say, by the way, there was a scene that they didn't use where he explained, where he was talking about the fact that he couldn't save his sister, couldn't save anybody. And I think that really would have added to that scene had they left it in. But yeah, dude, it's Dewey, man. Like, it's one of the main, it's the legacy character dying there, and they didn't give him a bad death scene. You know, I don't love the fact that it was possibly Amber, but still yet, I mean, for all the shit that he's been through, they made sure there's no way he's going to survive this. I mean, he got ripped in the front, ripped in the back, and then Ghostface does this cool, like, thing, and then literally says, it's an honor. And that shit was just, it was emotional, it was fucking gnarly. The cinematography, the way they framed Ghostface in that entire hospital sequence was just amazing. Dewey's death is my number 3 kill of the entire franchise. Number 2, Dewey's little fucking sister. Don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel. Boing, boing.
Hey, shitheads!
Her interaction with Ghostface, the way he slowly cuts her arm, that was fucked up and mean too, because those knives have those little curves in them, and you know that shit fucking hurt. She goes to run out of the garage, she tries to climb through the doggy door, and it's almost scarier because it's like degrading, because she's about to die in a fucking doggy door, you know what I mean? And though it's another kill that semantically doesn't make sense, I don't know how they made garage doors in the 90s, but I know today they all have like little buzzers on them. Maybe Scream changed that, but they have little like alarms, like if something's in their way, they'll just like nut tap it and then go back up. They won't just like fucking put all their force on it, going up or down if there's debris or a big boobied teenager stuck in it, you know? But it's a fucking horror movie, so let's just let that little guy go. Anyways, just an iconic death scene. She gets stuck in it. Ghostface turns his head and presses the thing. The way that her body contorted, like afterwards, pretty fucked up and gnarly, man. To me, that's the number 2 death scene of the entire franchise. And finally, number 1, I don't think it could be anything else. This one was set in fucking stone before I even made the rest of the list. No competition, a distant first place from everything else. Casey Becker's death in the original Scream opening. The best horror opening of all time, in my opinion, which makes it one of the best movie openings of all time. You know, it's the debut of the iconic, you know, Ghostface everything. The phone call, the way he fucked with her. That's the scene that we all resonated with. Scream is not at all the classic movie we know it as if that opening scene didn't set the tone for the entire fucking franchise and for a new wave of horror in general. The Home Alone, the fact that anybody could be doing this, you know, it's not Michael Myers, it's not Freddy Krueger, he's fucking with her on the phone, her parents are out, like every teen's been in that situation. In a nutshell, in that one scene, all the genius of Scream. Forget all that. Just on an esoteric level, like just in that room alone, how fucked up that scene was, that he fucks with her, he, you know, murders her boyfriend in front of her, even though she shouldn't have fucking said she didn't have a boyfriend when she was flirting with that guy on the phone. All right, that's number 1. That's not good.
Lucky for you, there's a bonus round. But poor Steve, I'm afraid he's out.
That is not good. All right, Steve would be upset. Steve had to hear you flirt with another guy, a serial killer, on the phone before he got gutted on your back goddamn porch. All right, so turn on the porch lights. Again. The meanest thing about this is that not only does he stab her, but we've all had that dream, right, where you're running and you try to yell to help somebody, or you try to yell for help and nothing comes out, and how scary and helpless that feeling is. She gets stabbed and she can't yell. She sees her parents pulling up and they're right there within arm's reach. If only she could yell and get their attention. She should have thrown the fucking phone at him. But it was such a mean kill, man. Just the way he went, like the noise that he made when he did it, that, you know, like, oh God, it's creepy, man. It's really fucked up.
Oh my God, I can hear it!
And it set the tone. It was so mean and fucked up that her own parents had to see her hanging from a tree, gutted, that it set the tone. It made the jokes that came right afterwards when we go onto the lawn of the high school and everybody's like, did you leave her liver in the mailbox? You know, and all that shit. Like, it made the jokes afterwards work because you're like, you can joke now. I don't care what you fucking do. But this movie's fucking angry, all right? And it's after all of us. So these jokes are fun, and I can live in this moment and still believe in the horror because I saw what you just did to Casey fucking Becker. So maybe my favorite kill in the entirety of horror. I don't know. That's a really great question, but it's definitely the number 1 kill for Scream, guys. Which ones did I miss? Which ones are your favorites did I miss? Comment below. Let me know. Give me your list. Fuck it. Let's get wild and crazy with our dicks out. Or boobies, whatever you want. I love your fucking faces. We're also going to rank the killers. Tons of great shit. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, all that good fucking shit in the night. I love your fucking faces, and I'll see you guys really soon.